So primitive reflexes should be integrated after about 1 or 2 years.
What does integrated mean?
So you basically don't have them anymore. So the reflexes are, there's a breastfeeding reflex. If you touch a baby on its cheek, it'll turn towards the touch. So they should be replaced with conscious movement once they're integrated.
Yep.
But what often happens is, like I said, if there's toxins, stress, different issues, whatever, impacting that development, then these reflexes can be retained. And then it's like you haven't quite completed this developmental step properly. And so it impacts the next step, and it impacts the next step.
Yep.
I'll test people, and you rub their cheek and they will...
How old?
All ages. So adults, I've got a couple. Like there's been studies done, it should be around, I think it was around 50% of adults will have at least one primitive reflex.
These are bad signs because that means you haven't developed properly.
Yeah, it's a sign of sort of immaturity in the brain. So it's the delayed maturation. So something has impacted development.
Yeah.
And then there will be issues further up as well. So typically we'll see primitive reflexes, which is kind of brainstem, and then further up we'll see hemispheric imbalance. So we'll see, one side really overactive and then the other side really underactive. And when we're developing as babies, our brain develops a lot through movement and exploration.
Yes.
So we learn to move our bodies and look around and lift our heads, and we're touching things and tasting things and listening to things. And all of this sensory input is like creating development of the brain. It's sort of this input in the brain sort of growing and learning from all of that. And that's how we integrate these reflexes, is through movement, through using them. And so without the input of the global muscles to sort of develop the right brain, particularly in the first 3 years is when we develop the right brain, you won't have as much development of the right brain, or the left brain might come online too early. So we put babies in these chairs and we stop them from moving because it's a bit inconvenient.
Okay,
rather than putting them on the floor and letting them roll around and move their bodies.
Yes.
Or we're chucking them in front of iPads or TVs.
Oh, it's everywhere.
And then, and that's very stimulating for the left brain too. So we're sort of impacting development just by the things that we're doing.
Wow, my shoes are covered in red dirt. Should have cleaned up before the interview. Let's start, I guess. Welcome to Discernible Interviews. Jackie Bollen, is it?
Jackie Bollen,
Jackie Bollen.
Yes.
I don't know where I got the Anne from.
Oh, Anne's my middle name.
Oh,
yeah.
Jackie Bollen. I'm excited to talk about some of the internal work that you talked about, but we can talk about anything.
Yep.
Where do we begin? Thank you for being here, everyone. No, it's cool that you're willing to sit down and chat openly.
Yeah.
How about we start with straight to the internal work? What is internal work?
Well, for me, I had a real big journey. I'll start with kind of my physical journey and go on to the internal work, because that was sort of how it happened for me. There was a point, it was probably like 6 years ago now, where my health and my life was just sort of going a bit downhill. I was kind of getting all of this fatigue and this brain fog, and I was finding it hard to work. I was just working 3 days a week because I felt like I couldn't work any more than that.
As a physio?
Yeah. And I was just I was having weeks where for the whole week I would be really, really tired. And then I'd have a couple of weeks where I was not so tired and I could do things and exercise, and then I'd get really tired again. I didn't know why. And I felt like I was healthy. I was exercising a lot, and I was eating pretty well, but my health was just getting worse and worse and worse. And it wasn't until someone really close to me had a very big sort of health explosion in their life. And it sort of got me kind of researching, okay, what is health? What is the root cause of a lot of these things? Like why isn't there any kind of solution in sort of mainstream medicine for things like, the chronic-y stuff that hangs around, your fatigue and your brain fog and fibromyalgia stuff and all of that. And it kind of sent me down a bit of a rabbit hole of modern medicine and, kind of the things that it might not do so well. And that sort of catalyzed for me a bit of a spiritual journey as well. So I was kind of looking into medicine. And I don't know, it sort of just got me really looking into stuff and learning about stuff and just sort of uncovering things that I think I was really, really ignorant to, and kind of just, I think I was more just bouncing around life, not really choosing where I wanted to go.
How old were you? How long ago are you talking?
This is about 6 years ago, this kind of started for me.
Right.
This sort of catalyst of a bit of a journey for me.
Okay.
Of, I would say, sort of personal development and health and healing and all of that sort of stuff. I think it all sort of goes hand in hand. For me, I'm like, I don't think you can really heal your physical body without healing your emotional self and your spiritual self as well. They're sort of all integrated, and it doesn't really matter what your starting point is. You can kind of, you know, you can't sort of affect one without affecting all of these other parts.
We try though, don't we? Like most of your clients would come, every time I've gone to a physio over my life, or a chiro or a homeopath or whatever, you're just there to fix, I've got this problem. Can you fix me, doc?
Yeah. And normally that's what it is. And that's what health is, isn't it? It's like, oh, I have high blood pressure, give me this pill and take it away so I can keep living my life and ignore this problem. But normally it's like, okay, well, what's causing your high blood pressure? You know, what's all these underlying reasons? This is the symptom on the top, but what's actually causing this? And, you know, you take away the symptom, something else is just going to pop up, something else and something else and something else.
Which is what was happening to you.
Yeah, exactly. So it sort of led me down this path. I got onto this, I started this group, Jason Reynolds at the Quantum Movement, he taught me how to journal essentially. And like the guts of it was just starting a daily journaling practice to kind of reflect and like learn about yourself.
Yeah.
Within that practice, I kind of discovered there were a couple of parts of myself. So sometimes, initially when I started writing, it was really negative. It was like, stuff this and stuff that, and I hate this. And
but what things, like I hate my career, or I hate my body, or what?
Yeah, or like angry at different people, or
just venting.
Yeah. It was a lot of venting, because the technique was basically just write whatever comes to your mind. It doesn't have to make sense, just write stuff out. And it kind of just cleared all that stuff out, gave it a voice, kind of let me see what was in my head.
Over 10 minutes or over a few days or a week?
The practice was 5 minutes a day. Set a timer. You have to do at least 5 minutes. If you want to go longer, go longer.
Sure.
So it's like, you think, yeah, I can do 5 minutes. Like, that's not much out of your day.
And you vomit onto the page for a week or whatever.
Yeah. And then after, I can't remember how long, it was probably a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks or something. It's like the way I wrote started to change.
Really?
And there was this other person coming through. It was like, and I didn't notice it until I sort of looked back. It was like sometimes there would be these wise words, and then a lot of the time it would just be the mess again. And
so there's
like,
two people emerging.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I was like, I've got this sort of wise, truthful part that's coming through and like making a lot of sense. You know, you talk about your problems, and I'll put my problems on the page. Yeah. And then there would be this, it's like once you're empty of all your problems and you give that a voice, and then this sort of wise part comes through and you give yourself the solutions. Like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, maybe I am overreacting or whatever it is, or okay, maybe I do have to let this thing go or whatever. So that was kind of the very start of my journey to sort of learning about, I don't know, like a lot of spiritual people talk about the ego and the true self or something, or truth. And that was sort of my beginning of learning to discern those two parts of myself, and kind of using that as a guide to make decisions throughout my life from there forward. So if I've got to make a decision about something, I still have a daily journaling practice, and I'll journal for a lot longer than 5 minutes now. I love it.
No one reads it. It's just you talking.
No. No one reads it. I just write it. I never read it. I end up burning it afterwards, and it's gone. Okay. It's just literally just a process to help discern and figure out what's kind of inside.
Yes.
Because so often we're just in reaction to something that happens.
Right.
And not actually making a decision or moving forward from a place of kind of truth and honesty, and like really making a decision to step forward into what we want. Just kind of recreating what's already there.
I can hear the old me and many viewers saying right now this kind of what do you call it? Skepticism. This is the old me speaking. Skepticism of, oh, you're just going to be all intuitive, are you? Oh, you're just going to let the universe direct you, are you? Oh, you know. And I'd love to, because you seem quite calm and coherent, which is nice. Not everyone is. On the outside. People are generally fractured and kind of performing or simulating on the outside. As you know, I was as well. But this idea of, can you talk to me about, we're not talking about that, letting go and being with the fairies and floating and letting the universe guide you so much as you're talking about something more real, more authentic, more real than what we generally walk around operating in. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of just garbage in spirituality too. You've kind of got to sift your way through, I think. Like, you know, if I believe it will happen. What's that called? The Secret Manifest?
Yeah, like...
Oprah.
So, I don't know. I think there was something called The Secret. I can't remember what it was all about. Anyway, because like people will sit there and be like, oh, okay, I'll just manifest myself money, or I'll manifest myself what I want, or, you know, the guy of my dreams, or the house of my dreams, or whatever. Or internal freedom, Yeah. But it's like your life reflects where you are inside. And I feel like sitting there and saying you believe something, but you're just kind of bullshitting yourself. You don't actually believe that you deserve or can get those things. And so just sitting there telling yourself you believe it and not actually taking action or doing the things to be the person that has those things in your life, it's never going to happen. It's just a delusion. Why do people sit in the delusion rather than dealing with what's really there? I don't know. Was that you? Did you struggle for a long time before your 6 year ago wake up? Oh yeah, I would say like my life was just kind of this like dramatic mess, you know. You seem so undramatic. You're a dramatic person? Oh, like maybe I'm sort of exaggerating, but the comparison, it was like I was just living, you know, one drama to the next to the next. Right. I wasn't actually creating something in my life that I want to build over a long term. I didn't have long-term plans. You know, I wasn't kind of purposefully building something. I was just sort of, okay, what's the next thing and what's the next thing, and thinking very short term, and you know, then a drama would happen and I would get lost in that, and you know, to keep yourself entertained, I suppose, because you're not actually working on yourself or building something. So that was kind of me then. And then that 6 years ago was that turning point to like self-discovery and healing, and it gave me a bit of purpose and sort of a bit more self-reflection, and kind of, I guess, doing things a bit more on purpose. Was there a trauma or a catalyst that made you face that stuff 6 years ago? Yeah, so not necessarily, it was me, like my health was going downhill, and then I had this crappy relationship too. Your current partner? Not my current partner. Sorry, no. What's his name? Michael's my current partner. Sorry, Michael. Sorry, Michael. I love you. No. Love you, Michael. So bad relationship. I had a bad relationship, but it was to that other person close to me had a sort of a health thing that sort of, it was like, holy crap, like, it just catalyzed looking into things a lot more. And I don't know, it sort of just turned the world on my head the way I kind of saw it. So how long have you been with Michael? 2 years. Okay. 2 years. So this is what I wanted to ask, because you're lucky in the sense that he's met the new you. Yes. No, I knew him. We went to the same high school. Oh. Yeah, so he knew me. We went to, we didn't really know each other in high school, but we both did Muay Thai together, which is like kickboxing, for about 10 years. So we both started that at 18. And so like I knew him quite well for a long time. So he must have seen a change. Yeah. Which really what I'm getting to is, for example, I've been married for a long time, 17, 18 years. Yeah. And when you go through personal development changes, the poor spouse married person A and now they wake up to person B. Yeah. That's a bit rough. Yeah. Well, because we knew each other for a long time and we never sort of got involved. There wasn't, I don't know, any attraction there early on. And then, you know, I didn't see him for a few years and we kind of reconnected a couple of years ago. Everyone from the Muay Thai group went on a holiday to Thailand, and we sort of like, oh, hello, I kind of see him a bit differently. And
So, because you had changed.
I had changed, and he had changed as well. So we'd both kind of been on separate journeys. He had sort of been on his own journey and grown and changed and learnt and became who he is, and so had I, and it was sort of much more aligned now, I suppose.
That's cool. It must feel nice to resonate with someone on the same level if you've both been through some internal work.
Yeah, and it wasn't the same internal work. You know, his
Right.
journey wasn't sort of spiritual, mine was, but his was sort of more personal growth, and you know, he did his own kind of, you know, looking inward and sort of realizing his own patterns and working to change them. And
yeah, okay. So this is where you're trying to take your practice, your physio practice train. I don't understand how that's even possible, because as I said, people who come in to see a chiro or a physio, they're not there to talk about their internal demons.
No. So I do a lot of, at the moment I do have a clinic, and we do sort of standard come in with a sore shoulder, sore knee type stuff.
In Wodonga?
In Wodonga, yeah.
Let's advertise it. So if you're around Wodonga, what's it called?
Reflecting Health.
Reflecting Health.
Yeah, so we've got physio, speech and OT, so we've got different allied health professionals there. We also do a lot of work with people with disability, people with neurological conditions, you know, brain injuries and stroke, but also people who are neurodiverse. So a lot of
What does
work.
that mean? Autistic?
Yeah, or ADHD or dyslexic or different sort of.
So you do work with
there.
them. So it's not
Yeah.
just fit. So what do you mean? You help them to somatically manage their symptoms, or what does that mean? Working with someone?
Yeah, so I've got a few clients at the moment that sort of walk on their toes and toe walking. There's often a lot of musculoskeletal issues that go alongside neurodiversity.
Yep.
So I typically kind of help them with that. There's also language and communication issues, so speechy, OT for different things and equipment, and yeah, so
Sounds much more holistic than a physio clinic.
yeah, we do a few different things. It's not just your stock standard, I guess, what most people would see as a physio clinic, where you come in with a, you know, a not a broken jaw, I suppose sometimes a broken jaw, but you know, sore joints and things. Yeah.
I have I journal too, but to AI.
Oh yeah, what does that look like?
Well, same as you. You can vomit onto a page, but I do it onto a screen.
Are you let AI solve all your problems?
Sorry?
And then AI solves all your problems?
No. No, you you can't just do it with any instance of ChatGPT or Grok. You have to train the hell out of it to be an epistemic mirror that overcomes its affirmation bias and predilection towards conversational fluency, where it'll overlook things and affirm you in pursuit of conversational fluency. You have to really break all that. But if you do, which I have, you can create a beautiful epistemic mirror where it reflects back to you and confronts you and says, no, Matt, that's bullshit.
That's cool.
Have
I
you ever
never
seen
thought
ChatGPT
to
talk
use
like
it
that?
in
No.
that way.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah, right.
It took a long time, like 15,000 pages of internal work with it to get it to this point.
Yeah, right.
But now I can say anything and it'll just say, no, that's not consistent with who I know you to be. Don't do that.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really interesting.
it is.
So you asked before where I was kind of taking the practice, how I was going to integrate
yes.
the internal work and other things. So there's a couple of areas that are a little bit sort of branched out from physio that I've kind of studied and have interest in. One is functional medicine, which is kind of like a more natural, holistic medicine, looking at the root cause of symptoms and things. A lot of lifestyle, diet kind of things.
And then I'm sure, be metagenics up the wazoo, supporting natural systems as well. So someone comes in and says to give an example, someone comes in and says they're tired. I used to have a functional medical clinic. So someone says they're tired, you don't just say you need more sleep, here's some sleeping pills, that's it.
No, because I feel like, again, that's pill for an ill. Like, it can be supplements, it could be something natural, but it can be, pharmaceuticals, whatever. It's like, let's treat this symptom with, something you pop in your mouth. It's not, I feel like health, I want to go deeper than that and find sort of root cause. So we're going to steer away from the consult to consult model and do sort of longer programs which integrate these different things, so that it's kind of, it's changing habits, it's changing mindsets, it's changing lifestyles, rather than just treating the individual symptoms.
But isn't that often still down to what you put in your mouth? Like, sometimes I realize, okay, I have a your Krebs cycle is broken and you need to put in some vitamin D or whatever the catalyst is for the energy cycle. Or, I really need to add Celtic sea salt to my water for a few days because I've got an imbalance in electrolytes. Really, if you bring it all down to what we do as humans, it's what we put in our mouth and what we do with our bodies is basically it, isn't it? Including the mind.
Yeah, I think that's a huge part of it. Like, we overcomplicate it too. A lot of, and not just health, but so many things just come down to doing the basics consistently. And it doesn't have to be more complicated than that. Like exercise, people will overthink exercise and I don't know how to exercise or what to do. It's like, we'll just go and move your body and do it a little bit every day and you're going to be a lot better off than you are now. Like we don't have to complicate it. And like good food, it's like eat good real food.
That's a minefield. What's good food?
Yeah,
I'm a vegan.
yeah.
I'm a carnivore. I don't eat seed oils. I don't eat. There's all these things.
Yeah. I think there is a lot of confusion with what real food is.
Yeah.
There was this study, who's by Chris Gardner, I think, and they were comparing. I think it was low carb and low fat diets.
Yeah.
They found there was more variability within each diet group than between them. And there's been a few studies that kind of correlated the findings. It's sort of like, it doesn't really matter what your macros are, as long as, I think people get fixated on the macro, like how much protein and how much, whatever else.
Yeah.
But it's like, is the food you're eating real and good? Do you know what plant it comes from? Does it sort of resemble the animal on the plant and whatever? Or is it in a package with all these ingredients that don't make sense or you have no idea what they are?
We love that though. Society loves the package.
What's easy?
I'm wondering if even behind the easy, maybe there's more. Because I was just thinking about my life history of binge eating and issues with food. It was often an identity issue and an emotional issue. And then once those got solved, suddenly I say to my family, I don't like buffets anymore. And they're like, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
I don't like ice cream anymore. What the F? So I feel sad for the many people out there who are managing symptoms and then going for a run to burn it off because they feel guilty. And this is not a way to live. Yeah,
and if you're already really burnt out and fatigued, maybe going for a run isn't the best thing. But
maybe you're not doing it for that reason. Maybe you're doing it because you feel guilty or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Not because, this is a good thing for my body right now. It's, I just did these bad things and I should kind of punish or redeem myself for this.
Do you reckon most people are living in that kind of loop?
I would say so, and that's probably where I was too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That you punish yourself with exercise or diet or something?
Well, I would think I could get away with, drinking because I exercise a lot or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So drink, but own the drink. Don't trade it for, I'll exercise.
Pretty much. Like, I don't think drinking is terrible and you should not do it. Like, there's clear, downsides to your health when you drink. But if you're having a couple of drinks socially and you're with all your friends, that sort of counteracts the toxicity of the drink in a way, because
the social atmosphere.
Yeah. Like having friends and having a social life and having those connections is huge for your health.
This is so interesting because a lot of, like, a bad alcoholic would be drinking alone, right? That's the stereotype, right?
Yeah.
So I've never been into alcohol, but I've been into sugar. So if I went and had an ice cream with my friends, that's kind of, it is what it is. But that's not what I liked to do. I like to hide and eat the 20 magnums on my own in the dark room watching YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. So, difference.
Hey, what's the deal with chiropractors? Do you like chiropractors? I feel like they're charlatans. There's some that watch and support Discernible, so you need to come on and educate me. It's just like every modality. I've osteopaths, I've employed doctors, specialists, surgeons, naturopaths, all good. Physios, all good. But the chiros it's like in chiro school in Australia, they must teach you how to be business sharks and make money and launch products and make margin.
Yeah, I have no idea because I've never been to chiropractic school, but I have met some really good chiropractors. I always feel, people sometimes ask me, what's the best physio, chiro, osteo, whatever?
What is?
And I just say, it's the person, it's your practitioner. It's not like their degree. A good pretty much when we finish uni, we still don't have any idea what we're doing. We've kind of got to learn and, work under someone and have some mentoring and do other courses and pick it up over time as well and sort of refine everything. And a good practitioner and a good person is going to do that and find the right tools and really try to do the best for who's coming in the door. And you'll get crappy practitioners in every sort of...
True, but you're still trained with a certain tool set. So
yeah.
To the man with a hammer, everything's a nail. I feel like if I have a sore hip or calf muscle, my God, I've got dirt all over my suit. I can just noticing how dirty I am. If I've got a sore calf muscle, I go to you, you're going to be like, okay, is there fascia release? Do we, whatever. Is it your gait is a bit off? Is your ankle, I broke my ankle recently. And if I go to a chiro, they're going to say, oh, you need an adjustment. Of course they are, because it's what they do. And we need to adjust your neck. I'm like, my neck? Like, yeah, because that will reflect down to your calf. And then I'll go to an acupuncturist and say, no. All you need is some Chinese herbal medicine and some acupuncture.
Well, there's more than one way to skin a cat. One of my physio mentors, he's like just this wise person. And he was like, one of the best sayings is there's more than one right way to do things. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to have my tool set and my way of doing things, but that doesn't mean this other way that I don't know much about is wrong or won't have the same effects or also be good.
So what do you do if you have a sore
calf?
I've grown up in a medical and had a medical clinic and a multi-modality clinic in Sydney, and I feel like people get stuck on the treadmill of being sick and they just go back and back and back, and they were good customers for us because they'd keep coming back, but it was always sad that they would never get well.
Yeah, and that's, people kind of get this identity of always being sick, and it's kind of that drama cycle. It's like, I don't know, if you don't have some sort of purpose or direction in your life, you're just kind of going to create some excitement where you are, and that could look, it could be relationship dramas, it could be health dramas, it could be whatever drama you want to create.
They stay there.
Yeah.
And we're incentivized to keep treating them.
Yeah, which is a crappy thing, but.
Wow. I have always found physio quite fascinating because it's a mainstream modality that's accepted. I don't know why it's more accepted than others, but sports physios and.
Yeah, I thought so too. Like it is more mainstream, sort of your chiros or your osteos or whatever. Yeah, it's sort of like physio, speech, OT are sort of the mainstream allied health modalities almost. Yeah. But again, within physio, you get all types too. So there's different kinds of physios and
What do you think of Australians as a whole? Are we a healthy bunch?
I don't know, like compared to the rest of the world, I don't think a lot of us are healthy. You go down the street, I don't see many healthy, vibrant people.
What does that mean, healthy, vibrant?
I think there's an element of physical health. So
not being obese.
Yeah, like are you physically active? Do you eat good food? There's certainly that element, but there's also the element of do you do work that you love? Are you surrounded with friends? Do you have a good supportive family? Or whatever that means to you. Like health is not just what we put in our mouth and how we move our body. There's all these different kind of elements. You could have the loneliest person eating the best diet and they'll probably still have health issues.
Well, I feel like people talk about we have a mental health crisis and we're more and more disconnected as a globe. And I wonder sometimes if we see this escalating spend on health and worse outcomes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wondering what, just projecting that out, it's just unthinkable. We just spend more and more money on health chasing something that we never quite achieve. It makes me think of WALL-E. Do you know the...
Oh, yeah, I think I did watch that ages ago. Yeah, the robot thing.
But all the humans are all just fat sitting on the sleds, living a docile life.
Yeah. So I don't know what kind of... I'll talk about brain balance in terms of the anxiety and things that we see.
Oh, we have heaps, yeah.
Yeah, because it is on the up, and all mental health is on the up, and autism's on the up, and all of these kind of issues. Small segue, I did watch something the other day, and the person was talking about our jaw shape. You know, a lot of people are mouth breathers now and don't have the kind of shape to breathe through the nose. And he said that was correlated exactly when they brought in industrialized food, was that when the shape of our jaws and faces started to change, was when the food started to change for people. And before that point, it was all kind of this more robust structure.
Less mastication is what they're suggesting.
Yeah, and which are like softer foods, we're not actually developing our jaw young. You know, we're not chewing on hard things that are kind of developing that. And then we get these blocked airways from these narrow jaws and have to breathe through our mouth, and so we're not kind of oxygenating properly.
Right.
Yeah. I was segueing away from something, and I was going to come back to... Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So the brain balancing is really cool. It's been pioneered by this doctor, Dr. Robert Malello, and he talks about society and people as a whole becoming a little bit more left brain dominant.
What does that mean? Is that logical?
Yeah. So left brain, that's your kind of logical, analytical skills, your small detail kind of sort of skills. For example, in hearing, someone who's more left-brained will hear people better and the individual words that are spoken. Someone who's more right-brained would get the overall picture better, but might miss individual words.
Okay, and right-brain being creativity, or is that too simple a way to put it?
Yeah, it's a simple way of putting it, but pretty much it's sort of the bigger picture, creativity, that sort of stuff. The funny example is like when me and my partner, he's more left-brained, I'm a bit more right-brained. Yeah. We'll watch a show and I'll be like, what did they say? What was that again? And he'll have to tell me the words because I'll miss the individual words. And I was like, yeah, classic. So the right brain is more kind of that lowered, it's like a dampening of things, like a lowered immunity, a lowered sort of repression of sort of functions in the brain. The left brain sort of brings things up, so more inflammation and issues there.
If one hemisphere is more dominant, you're saying?
Yeah. So what will kind of happen if in early development, so as babies in the womb and then as we're kind of growing through that first year of life, if the development is impacted in some way, so if there's maternal stress, different toxins, like kind of an unhealthy, and also the male sperm too, the male is unhealthy too at that point, and there's sort of a not kind of optimal environment or something happens there, then there's impacts to the development of the baby. And that kind of starts in the brainstem where we've got things called primitive reflexes. So primitive reflexes should be integrated after about 1 or 2 years.
What does integrated mean?
So you basically don't have them anymore. So the reflexes are, there's a breastfeeding reflex. If you touch a baby on its cheek, it'll turn towards the touch. For the nipple. Yeah, and pucker the lips.
I'm going to try. So you do, if I do that to a baby, it'll do that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's all these different ones. And so they should be replaced with conscious movement once they're integrated. So we don't need that after a year. We stop breastfeeding. Sure, yeah.
We stop breastfeeding at 1.
Oh, well, 1 or 2 or whenever.
I thought that people stopped breastfeeding at like 3 or 4. Anyway, go on.
Oh, whenever it is.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, those reflexes are meant to be integrated if we're developing properly. So if we kind of finish step 1 of development, then we can go on to step 2 and step 3. And there's not this interference from not fully completing that step of development. Yeah. But what often happens is, like I said, if there's toxins, stress, different issues, whatever, impacting that development, then these reflexes can be retained. And then it's like you haven't quite completed this developmental step properly. And so it impacts the next step and it impacts the next step.
Can you give me an example of a retained reflex that shouldn't have been retained?
That shouldn't have been, the breastfeeding reflex. So I'll test people and you rub their cheek and they will...
How old?
All ages. So adults I've got a couple. Like there's been studies done, it should be around, I think it was around 50% of adults will have at least one primitive reflex.
As in, if you do this to my face like that.
Maybe not this one specifically, but
no, I know,
there
but
were
that's
other
an example.
ones too. Yeah.
That I would not be able to stop my head from going like that.
Yeah.
This is so foreign to me.
Oh yeah, it's really big in neurodiverse populations.
Oh.
So for kids with autism, I'll test their reflexes, and they'll have them really strong. So they're really, really strong. But if I test like my friends, some of them might have them, and they will be really subtle. Or it might just feel, there's one where you turn your head on your hands and knees and the elbow bends.
Yeah.
For someone who's kind of neurodiverse, they might even fall over. The reflex is so strong. Oh. But for me, it might just feel like my elbow shakes a little bit. Like it's just a tiny little reflex.
Wow. These are bad signs because that means you haven't developed properly.
Yeah, it's a sign of sort of immaturity in the brain. So it's the delayed maturation. So something has impacted development.
Yeah.
And then there will be issues further up as well. So typically we'll see primitive reflexes, which is kind of brainstem, and then further up we'll see hemispheric imbalance. So we'll see, one side really overactive and then the other side really underactive.
What does that look like?
So certain diagnoses will tend to fall into one category. So people with autism tend to be very left brain dominant. So you see people with autism and they're really, really good at like maths and calculations and like they'll do some like that. And it's like, how can you do that? You're a genius. Like they've got these genius level logical calculation skills, but then they might not be able to look someone in the eye, or
which
they
is
might,
the right brain.
Well, yeah, because they've got a very underactive social right brain. So the right brain...
Oh, social sits in the right brain.
Yeah. So that's why these kids, they sort of really lack those, kids and adults, they lack those social skills and sort of that emotional regulation kind of skills and things like that.
So that's definitely on the rise, what those symptoms you've described. Even if someone's not classically autistic, that kind of not being able to socially look someone in the eye or connect or whatever. Are you positing that there's a bit of a biological, developmental thing that's causing that? Perhaps even on a broad population scale, if we're moving to that more anxious place and we have more rates of autism and so on, we must have a momentum shifting towards a lack of right brain development. So
what Malello kind of says is the right brain... all your big global muscles. So we've got big muscles and we've got little stabilizing muscles. The right brain sort of has more input into the big muscles and the left brain more the little stabilizing muscles. And when we're developing as babies, our brain develops a lot through movement and exploration.
Yes.
So we learn to move our bodies and look around and lift our heads, and we're touching things and tasting things and listening to things. And all of this sensory input is like creating development of the brain. It's sort of this input in the brain, sort of growing and learning from all of that. And that's how we integrate these reflexes, is through movement, through using them. And so without the input of the global muscles to sort of develop the right brain, particularly in the first 3 years is when we develop the right brain, you won't have as much development of the right brain, or the left brain might come online too early. So we put babies in these chairs and we stop them from moving because it's a bit inconvenient.
What chairs are you talking about?
Well, I don't know, just like baby chairs and things.
Okay.
Like rather than putting them on the floor and letting them roll around and move their bodies.
Yes.
Or we're chucking them in front of iPads or TVs.
Oh, it's everywhere.
And then, and that's very stimulating for the left brain too. So we're sort of impacting development just by the things that we're doing. But also that development can already be impacted by, trauma, toxins, maternal health as well, from just being in the womb and could be not having breast milk too. If someone has to be formula fed, then there's kind of, impacts that will happen there. So you'll have these sort of, the right brain typically develops more in the first 3 years, and then the left brain picks up, but you might have early left brain kicking in too.
But then you say, like, my kids don't have much screens at all, and we go out and every other, so they're 9 and 5. Every other kid is in the supermarket and doesn't know what's going on around them because they're glued to the iPad on the restaurant or whatever. My kids don't. But I feel like by the time they all get to, say, 13 in school, they've had a very different developmental environment. They kind of even out in the end, don't they? Kind of. Like there's a 13-year-old, my little girl, and this other girl who grew up on an iPad. They kind of present the same. They both know to sit quietly in the police station, or aren't they basically the same? Does it really matter?
Well, there's a bunch of other factors too. So it's not just that you'll pop your kid in front of an iPad sometimes.
Yeah.
It'll be the whole environment that they're growing up in, and again, what they eat and what they observe and their emotional health and all of these things that kind of impact how they learn and how they grow.
Well, okay, but I'm just wondering, what is the motivation for me as a parent if I'm using an iPad to babysit my children and then someone comes along and says you shouldn't put them in front of the screen every 5 seconds wherever they are, they can't last more than 5 minutes in the car without an iPad, you shouldn't do that. Well, there's a big cost to me going through training them to not be addicted to an iPad. Mm-hmm. Why would I go through that cost when it doesn't seem to be harming them in the end?
I think I would say like parents do the best that they can with the tools that they have, right? So sometimes if a parent's like working really hard, super stressed, and it's like you've got to put them in front of an iPad at some point, yeah, cool, like you've got to do what you got to do. But it's all these little things that sort of add up as well over time. I think as parents, I'll speak from my own example. I feel like I became a better parent when I worked on myself. Kids? I have one son.
Oh,
yes.
Cool. How old?
He's 13.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Because then it covers a lot of your transformation arc.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was, like I definitely became a better parent when I worked on myself, and I had more capacity to give to him. You know, before I was sort of working on myself, I didn't have that capacity.
Well, were you a single mum?
Yes.
So the father wasn't?
Oh, he was still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were sort of working together. Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah. But yeah, like I definitely had more capacity when I was working on myself. So I really like working with adults because I feel like to change a kid's life, you've got to really help the parents.
Right. Okay. This is fascinating. What about neuroplasticity?
Yeah, so we've got neuroplasticity for our whole life.
Goes down?
Yeah. Like as kids, we're like sponges.
Yeah. When does it drop off a cliff, or is it gradual over our whole lives?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up.
Okay.
Yeah. So definitely we can affect the brain at all ages.
How do you know if you're an adult listening to this and you're in a pathological way, you're left brain dominant or right brain dominant? How would you even diagnose yourself on the surface of things? So
I use a range of different things to kind of diagnose this. It would be...
All right, diagnose me.
Oh, God. Well, first I've got a big questionnaire that I'll do. So I'll find a little bit out about your personality. And there's a bunch of things on that, you know, like, are you a bit more intuitive or logical, or, you know, do you get more injuries on your right or left side? Do you have more like tendon issues? Well, the brain controls everything, right? So the brain controls your immune system. The brain controls how much tonal input is in the muscles.
What does tonal input mean?
So it kind of just means the resting tension of a muscle. So a muscle that has very high tone, and I'll see this in people with brain issues, it can feel like concrete to try and straighten their arm or something.
Well, because they're resisting you.
They're not resisting.
They're not.
That's just how much tension is in that muscle when they're not doing anything. And it can be really high tone. And so there might be subtle tonal differences in some of the muscles in your body. So do you have a tendency to get injured on one side more than the other? Or like sore spots or something?
I haven't thought of that. I can't even... No, I'm thinking of injuries all over. I haven't thought about that.
Not like following a pattern?
Of just being on one side?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm right dominant because I do everything with my right side.
Right-handed, yeah.
And right, if I need to kick something, it's all right.
Yep.
Push on it. But I haven't noticed any injury patterns. No.
So typically the dominance pattern will have like a dominant foot, dominant hand, dominant eye, dominant ear. For normal, like ideal development, it would all be right-sided.
Right-sided?
Yep.
All the left-handed people are
not
so...
Not the brain, but like the...
but right-handed.
The dominance. Yeah.
Why do you say ideal? There are people out there who are left-handed who are pretty annoyed right now.
Yeah.
Or left.
Not to... There's actually, for a mixed dominance profile, so if someone's like right-footed and left-handed and right-eared and left-eyed or something like that, they've got more chance of having sort of these developmental issues in the brain too, so more primitive reflexes. I think they did a study in schizophrenia. They had a higher percentage of left-handers than the general population.
Why?
I don't know. I think I actually was reading a study on this not too long ago, but it's in animals too. They'll have a dominance, like a handed dominance, a sided dominance. I think there's one animal and they would only attack on one side.
Yeah.
They had a preference, like a side preference. And it's something to do with like the way the baby sits in the womb too. They might have more room on one side, and that can impact like which side becomes dominant after we're born too. So maybe if the baby is breech or if they're sideways or something, they might not have the same dominance pattern. So it's like really early development that kind of dictates this as well.
But we are still saying that right-sided dominance is more normal. So
a more typical developmental sort of dominance pattern. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I think there are some though, like for some, a smaller population subset than is currently are like left-handed is sort of their proper developmental. So I'm not sure. I have to double check that. But yeah, typically right-sided dominance.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're looking at tone. That's like a left and right brain. That's separate to like your side dominance, like right hand, right foot. Like I'm mixed dominant, so I'm right hand, right foot, and then left ear, left eye. So I've got a bit of a mixed dominance pattern.
How do you get dominant ear and eye? What does that mean? How would I know what I am?
So you would just kind of test it, and the tests are a bit sort of like what would you... Oh, for the eye, one, you can look at something far away and put your finger up, but look at the thing that's far away, and then shut one eye, and then shut the other. And you have to put your finger between, like your finger in between you and the object, and then which eye has the finger in between you and the object.
Oh, I can't believe I did it.
Yeah.
So you're right. So my right eye has lined up my finger with the camera exactly.
Yeah.
But my left eye, my finger's like way off.
Way off.
What have we just discovered?
So you would be probably more right-eye dominant then. Yeah.
I like this test. Everyone should try that at home.
Yeah.
and rewind a bit to see how we did it. It works. But what does that mean now? I know I'm right-eye dominant. It's
just your dominance profile. So the only thing that really indicates is whether you might have more likely to have issues with that developmental.
But if I'm all right, I'm
all right. That's all right.
That's good. Right.
Yeah.
How do I do my ears? Is that
ears?
Easy?
That's a really hard one. So you can go to, or you can go, okay, say your grandma has to give you one last message and she's speaking really, really softly.
Oh my goodness. But I don't know whether I'm doing this.
Because we're leaning
this way. Or
we'll
if
have
I would
to
have
square up.
Square up.
And then she's got one last message for you and you've got to lean in to hear it.
Oh, now I want to do
now
this.
You're overthinking. Yeah,
I want to do right.
So that's right. Yeah.
The left feels fake. This feels more real.
It feels more natural, like the way you would do it.
So maybe I'm right everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm better than you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, that's a good test for everyone to do at home. Yeah.
So that's just sort of dominance pattern. But to find your hemispheric dominance, we'll dive into like personality things and how you like to kind of see things.
Yeah.
We'll have a look at muscular tone. So there's tonal changes in the face. For example, I would have a look at head tilt. Is your head tilted more to one side than the other?
People tell me I have a head tilt. I don't feel it. You don't feel a head tilt, right?
Yeah.
I think I constantly I do it to my right.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Interesting. Okay.
Why? What does that tell you?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Because when I go left, it feels kind of strained, like this is not natural.
Yeah, so you're typically right. So typically we'll head tilt towards the side of less dominance, so away from the side that we're dominant. So I would tend to head tilt towards the left because I'm a little bit stronger in my right hemisphere.
Oh, the brain. So if I'm tilting right, I'm stronger in the left.
Yeah, potentially. I'd look at this alongside a lot of other things. Yeah.
I feel a really strong impulse to snuggle up, everything on the right, curl to the right.
Yeah, like make it smaller.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
And if I do this, I feel ridiculous.
Yeah. No, that's interesting because I'm similar but on the left. So my left side would tend to kind of curl in and, be a little bit smaller and those muscles here a bit tighter. And then that head tilt towards the left like this.
Oh.
We can have a look at the tone in the face. So I would get your eyebrows up and we would see if there's sort of more tone on one side of your forehead wrinkles and potentially a little bit more on the left.
On my left.
Yeah. So getting your left and rights mixed up is a bit of a right brain thing. So I do that all the time.
So why am I more tensioned on my left eyebrow wrinkles?
Because you might have higher tonal input in those muscles from the left brain. So if the left brain is more active than the right, then it would give you more tonal input into those muscles and they'll just be a little bit stronger.
So I'm very left-brained so far.
Potentially, yes. We can have a look at eyes. So I would look at the whites underneath your eyes. So usually there's no whites, like you wouldn't see.
Oh, just by looking
just
straight
relaxing, yeah. Under the colourful bit, if there's any white showing or which side has bigger white.
Yep, so you have none under your irises.
Yep.
Yep. How mine?
Well, you're looking up now.
No, sorry. I've got to relax.
So it's not bad. So there's none there. I wonder if you're a little bit almost bigger on the left. We're looking for the bigger eye. Usually if I can't say yes or no, I'll just not have that. So I don't know.
Not clear?
It's not clear. So typically the bigger eye means less tone because the muscle around the eye
of the eyelid structure, the
yeah,
skin.
it's like a circle. So when that's tense, it'll close. So if there's more tone, it'll be smaller. If there's less tone, it'll be bigger.
Yep.
So the bigger eye, or the eye that's more open, will have the lower tone.
Right. And again, just to remind me, what does that mean? Because the people are doing this at home right now. If they do have more tone on one eye than the other, what is that saying?
So higher tone, it's all ipsilateral. So ipsilateral means same side. So we're testing sort of the same side as the brain dominance.
Yep.
More tone equals more brain dominance on that same side.
Right.
So you might have heard movement is opposite side of the brain.
Yes, I've heard that.
So that's like conscious movement is opposite side, but tone is same side. So some pathways cross and some pathways are straight. So you have to be careful with what you're testing and what side you're testing because it might be opposite.
Do we have more to do on me or were you ready to make a
there's
diagnosis?
plenty more.
Right,
I think I was actually trying to guess what you were on when I was listening to you.
That's why you're here, is for a free consult and no other reason. When you're listening to me on Spotify.
Yeah.
How do you guess?
I was looking, on your website because you got the video and I was just watching you and just trying to have a guess like what you would be.
It's hard though, isn't it? Because we're seated I'm seated on this side, which is the reverse of my last 300 interviews, is because so I can see that TV in this studio. So that's an artificial change.
Yeah, but I'll look at like the nuances of your personality and
tell me what you saw.
I saw you very good with language, very good with words, which is a left brain skill.
Yeah.
I feel like you're really good with talking and that kind of verbal communication.
It can be used as a cover and a charade. If you're good linguistically, you can cover your issues like that.
Yeah.
Can be fake.
But that's typically a left brain skill.
Yep.
Is that verbal communication.
Yep.
And like a lot of logical reasoning. So I feel like the way you look at things is really objective, and it's like you almost can't fool you in a way. It's like you're looking for the truth and you're talking to different people, and it's like everything's really objective, and it's like I had a guess that you might be a little bit more left brain dominant just based on those couple of things.
Yeah.
And because it's hard when you watch something and I don't know if it's flipped or not, so I can't really tell the tone on.
We're not flipped on this show, but yes.
Yeah. So it's tricky to kind of tell that on a video because I never really know.
Yeah, when you see an influencer on Instagram, you see their moles jump to the other side or something like that. Whoa, what's going on there? So, okay. And based on what I've just done we've talked about the way my muscles on the right side, right dominant, and right dominant on the eye. The ear, I was right dominant. Yes.
Yep. I would guess you're a little bit more left hemispheric dominant. It's just based on those couple of things. But there's a ton of tests you can do, a ton of sort of physical tests and movement tests. We can look at your vestibular system. I'll get you spin around in a circle on a spinny chair and which way are you more dizzy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we'll test all your reflexes, which is more brainstem, but and you might have more reflexes on one side compared to the other, or stronger on one side. We'll have a look at vision, so we can have a look at what's called convergence, so eyes coming together, and you might see one eye kind of tick off after a bit and get a bit tired and not be able to follow, and so that would sort of be an indication of not as strong on that side. Smell is a really interesting one.
That's not directional though, is it?
Smell same side. So if I'm smelling out my left nostril, left brain.
No way.
Right nostril, right
Don't they
brain.
blend it inside the sinus area?
Well, like it's registered on that same side.
It's actually linked to different sides of your brain. The left nostril is linked to one side of the brain and the right nostril is linked to the other side.
Yeah.
The olfactory sense.
So like when I smell out of my right nostril, it smells normal, and it's fine. And then when I block my right nostril and smell out of my left nostril, I could barely smell. And I didn't know this about myself until I tested it.
With food or something smelling, yeah.
Well, there's an actual test you can do. So you can get a bunch of different essential oils and with different smells, and you can do kind of a blind smell test, and you can go, okay, what's this scent and what's this scent? And you can try and like, the distance from your nose is sort of how strong is your sense of smell there. Can you smell it back here, or do you have to have it really close to be able to smell it? And can you sort of decipher what the smell is as well? And I was like, God, I can barely smell out of my left nostril, which is weird.
Again, indicating what?
Indicating that my left brain is not as strong at sort of interpreting
You're very
those
right
cues.
brain.
Yeah. When I did it on myself, it was like really easy. I was like, oh God, yeah, I'm super right-brained. So that's sort of more associated too with dyslexia, bipolar, those kind of things. And then left brain would be more ADHD, autism, and schizophrenia would be more of a like left brain dominant type.
Those
things.
are pathologies, but can we also infer other facets of ourselves who have done this test at home now, whether we're right or left brain dominant? Besides those pathologies, can you tell me more about right brain versus left brain dominant people?
So it was just those kind of personality things. Like I said, more language, people who are stronger with language, more left dominant. Non-verbal skills, more right. So reading people, getting the bigger picture of things, more kind of that intuitive sense.
Can you be, but I mean, because it's hard, because then I'm asking myself to accept that I'm strong with linguistics, but therefore I must be weak in reading people.
No, it's like you can have someone that's sort of developmentally mature on both sides here, and they might have a little bit of a discrepancy here. So it doesn't necessarily mean the right brain's not good, and then someone might be here and they might have a bit of a discrepancy here. So it's not that your right brain's weak, it's just not as strong as your left.
Can you develop your brain? We talked about neuroplasticity at any age. Can we train and develop?
Yes.
Yep.
So
there's 40 and 50-year-olds watching this. Help them out.
So I do a lot of weird stuff. I've got these glasses, and for me, because I'm more right dominant, I want to train my left side. I have blocked the left visual field on both glasses. So I've just used black tape, safety glasses, get them at Bunnings, block that visual field, because right visual field goes to left brain. So I'm stimulating that.
So I should do the reverse. I should block my right eye.
You would block the right visual field. So it's actually not just your right eye, it's the right visual field on both eyes. So it's like you would have the left side of both glasses open and the right side blocked.
Half the lens taped off.
And when you put them on, it doesn't look stripy. It looks just as if one half is blocked and one half is open.
Is there a reason why if I look at you, I do this to everyone, if I look at you in your right eye and from this side, and I do that to everyone, and sometimes I'm like, why are you always looking at their right eye, Matt? Look at the other eye. So I look at the other eye and I'm like, oh no, too intimate. I feel exposed now. Like, oh, I'm safe again if I look at the other eye.
Yeah, right.
What's going on there?
I don't know.
All right.
That's interesting. I don't have an answer for you there.
Have you noticed when you look at someone in the eye, you have to choose an eye?
Yeah, I would, I think it's regularly people will go from eye to eye.
Really?
Yeah,
Do you
that's
go
quite
from eye to
normal.
eye?
I tend to, yeah.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, and we just stare them down.
I stare down one eye.
Yeah, right.
I think it's an issue.
Yeah. Now I'm really conscious of it.
I think I'm avoiding something.
Yeah.
I think maybe, I was just thinking out loud, in a way, it kind of feels like I'm giving eye contact, but it's also not fully genuine, because if I start moving between eyes, I feel too socially intimate, and I'm like, oh, I feel a bit exposed now, and I go safety back into your right eye where I feel safe, but I'm also hiding.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I need to work on that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. Because I know like a right brain person would be, they would probably be more socially intimate. They would be like more like stare into your eyes, and whereas the left one would be like, don't look in my eyes.
What's the deal with eye contact? Why is... Okay, there's so much. So people who won't look at you, this happens to me a lot. You're great. You feel very genuine. But many people I go to, especially in the supermarket, especially men, fellow men, they will be really, hey, Bunnings or whatever. Hey, thanks so much for being, hope you're having a good day, whatever, or here's your receipt, see you later. And they won't look at you because they're busy, they're not connecting. Fine. But every now and then they will look up, because I'm there saying, hey, thank you. And I'll look them in the eye. Thank you for my receipt. You have a good day too. But when they connect, when they see me do that, they go, oh, thank you. There's something really confronting about it. And I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Generally, males are a bit more left brain. So it's like saying men are taller than women.
Yes.
A lot of men are taller than women, but there's a lot of women that are taller than men. Generally speaking, men are a bit more left and women are a bit more right.
Yes.
But there's a lot of overlap there too.
Yes.
And the left brain would be a little bit more disconnected socially, and so maybe that would be a bit more awkward for somebody.
For a man.
With that dominance pattern, yeah.
To hold eye contact.
Yeah.
Women do it a lot too, though.
Yeah, it can be from shyness as well, from a right brain perspective. So there can be kids that are really left brain dominant and they might not look anyone in the eye because they're kind of lacking that connection.
Yes.
But then there might be a very right brain person and they're just terrified. And they don't want to look someone in the eye because they're really, really shy and self-conscious.
So eye contact
and scared to connect for that way.
Okay, so eye contact in general is confronting.
Yeah.
It's so weird because I haven't moved any closer, but it's more confronting to have eye contact than to not look at you. That's weird.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got the people who stare, like they're kind of forcing eye contact, and you can feel it. There's something fake about it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things too online, like how to hold yourself and how to talk and how to have porosity in your voice and like how to do like voice go up and down.
And where do I look here? Do I look in a triangle here? They've got all these. I don't know,
but I think that rules. For me, I just like I've seen that and I'm like, oh yeah, like there could be some merit to it, but I just want to do things genuinely, and if it's not perfect, it's fine because I'm being genuine.
But if you're genuine, we can see into your fears and issues. Yeah,
and that's terrifying.
It is terrifying.
So a lot of people, myself included, we want to have a bit of a wall there and a protection and sort of be like, okay, I'll hold myself like this and I'll look at you in the eye and I'll make sure I look at you in the eye because that's what I'm meant to do.
And now it feels overdone if you do that. Yeah. How did you find coming here? You coming to a studio, a lot of people are watching. And how do you feel? Do you feel nervous?
I was very nervous driving here.
Yeah?
Yeah. But like, I just kind of told myself, just like be genuine and be yourself and like whatever happens.
Has the nervousness leaked out in your eye contact, your body language? Do you feel any of it leaking out or do you feel at ease?
I would say at a couple of points as we were talking, I felt nervous, but then I think we were talking and it became natural and it just felt like a conversation. So then that nervousness kind of disappeared, but now you've brought attention to it.
But are you self-regulating your nerves?
I'm not thinking about it.
Not thinking about it.
Yeah. I'm just, having a chat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's yeah. I'm very fascinated at self-awareness, somatic awareness, emotional awareness, and mental awareness. And I love, you did a few tests on me. I love asking you vulnerable questions like, "Are you nervous right now?" Because I think this level of realness and authenticity from willing participants, people can learn a lot, and I think feel released. It's okay to talk. It's okay to admit to, especially the men. I have so much problems with men. I can't tell you.
Yeah.
Tradies come along and they won't look you in the eye, and they even if they're struggling with something, they won't look you and say, "Hey, Jackie, I'm really struggling with something with my wife right now." They won't do that. It'll be like, "So, there's a bit of a hole you got there." You go, "Yeah, I'm digging a hole with my excavator." Yeah. So what do you think about, the wife, having a wife and stuff? She ever fight with you, or see they're kind of trying to mosey up without. Whereas a woman will come up to you and say, "Oh my God, I'm struggling with my husband. Do you struggle as well? Does your boyfriend do this?"
Women are way better at talking about things, I think. Me and my friends, we just chat about anything, and I think we're a little bit better at maybe being vulnerable, and then men not so much. But I was listening to a few things. Men are really kind of struggling as a whole as well, more, because, and this is just kind of talking about what I've heard sort of other people talk about who are a bit more experts on the topic and looked into it. But there's been so much to help women. And there's women's groups, and there's a lot of women's things where it's just women, and women can kind of help other women and feel sort of a part of something. But how sexist is it to have a men's group or a men's only whatever? And we've sort of lost those gatherings of men, and men having man time and doing man things and being outside and using their hands and moving their bodies and doing what men are supposed to do. And
after 3 hours might bring up the fight they had with their wife.
Yeah,
but they need to.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But there's not enough, just men hanging out with other men and doing those sort of things.
You've been listening to Modern Wisdom, have you?
Oh, I have listened to a couple of his.
He talks about that a lot.
Cool. Yeah.
Women's girls' results in school and in general in society are so they're out competing men.
Yeah.
Which is great, because for a long time it was the other way around. But now it's can we help the men? Nope, can't. That's sexist.
Yeah, but it's you don't have to diminish women to help men. You can just help men.
Apparently you do, Jackie. Apparently you do.
Yeah.
What other cool stuff can you tell me about and the people? Your knowledge is fascinating.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I've
especially stuff we can use me as a dummy for is great.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of work in kind of transformational coaching.
Tell me. Yeah. So we started on this. This is cool.
Yeah, I told you about the journaling, and that was kind of my first introduction into sort of self-reflection and learning about the different parts of myself. And then I've also done some courses with this lady, Pip Mackay. I think she's closing down at the end of this year, but she did. I think there's a lot of modalities that will approach this in different ways. It's like your childhood healing or healing your inner child type stuff.
So let's talk about that, because there's a stereotype of, you tripped over a rock when you were a child and now you have a trauma and that's why you don't like to drive.
But
what is it? What are we talking about when you talk about inner childhood healing?
So what I kind of learnt is there might be something in your life right now, or something that's kind of a repeated pattern in your life. Like somebody gets into the same relationship again and again and again with different people, and it's just this sort of repeating cycle.
Yeah.
And that could be from something from childhood, a pattern that you experienced then, and you're just sort of from a place of ignorance, not realizing, you're just sort of replaying this, and until you kind of heal that experience, it'll kind of just keep coming up, even if you sort of become aware of it and go, I'll never do that again, and then next minute you're sort of doing that again. And so what we sort of do, there's these processes where you might have an emotion or an experience that you're feeling, so there could be a repeated experience, and you sort of go into that and go, okay, well, how does that really make you feel? And it's it could be like, not like I want to die, or like I feel so bad or so guilty or so much shame, like I feel this heavy shame around this thing or whatever. And then you feel where it is in your body, and you kind of really connect with that. And then you go back to a point of in your childhood where you felt that same emotion.
Reimagine.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you kind of get to that place again, and you sort of go through and feel everything that you felt at that time, but you're here and you're safe, and you're going back and you're feeling everything there. And you can sort of imagine too what you go and you heal that, and then you can kind of imagine what you would have wanted from that experience, or how do you kind of see that experience now that you have this different perspective of that situation.
You have a different perspective. So I'm still stuck on you've gone back to refeel the trauma.
Gone back to feel that, and then you sort of go through a bit of a process if you've sort of emptied out all of the emotions and things that you want to empty out about that experience.
This is with you and a counsellor, or in my case, ChatGPT.
Just someone sort of talking you through this, then going through sort of healing that. You might sort of let that go and ask you what tools might you need to sort of heal that. So it might be, I needed a loving mother. I needed someone to hold me at that time. I need my teddy bear, because maybe you've gone back and you're 3 years old. And then you can kind of go back and see it from a different perspective, in a healed perspective, and how might you act differently now, and come back. And it's actually, it doesn't sound like much, and it might sound a little bit like, I don't know, but it has such profound changes in life. We call it auto magic. It's like this, for example, once I did a process about my mum, and I really wanted her to let go of her parental guilt. So it was like my mum just felt guilty that she wasn't the best mum that she could be, or like I could have done things better. And then I went back, and it was like I saw her sort of crying at a chair and sort of feeling really bad about the mother that she was. And my desire at that time was for her to let that go, and to let go of that motherly guilt. And I kind of went through the process and all of the feelings, and come out of that. And I can't remember when it was. I think it was it wasn't that day. I think it was the next day. I got a call from my mum, and she said, "Jackie, I've had a profound insight last night." And I hadn't told her anything. And she's like, "I realized I've been too pushy for my older brother and things." And she's like, "I'm going to step back, and I'm going to focus on me, and I'm going to do all these things." And I'm like, "That's great, Mum. Good for you." And I was just like, there's more than a coincidence, I think. And there's more than once where something like that's happened, where it's like I could kind of see a change in my life quite soon after doing a process and releasing something there.
I find it interesting that when you talk about the process of doing the internal work and revisiting that time where your teddy bear was taken away from you, or whatever it may be, it wasn't so much about what you did and said and brought healing to that little child. It was just the fact that you saw them. Yeah. You spoke it out, you witnessed it. A lot of it is just witness and being, rather than doing anything to him, right?
Yeah, and feeling the feelings, because we do so much to avoid feeling the feelings. There's unhealthy coping strategies like drugs and alcohol and gambling, but there's also high-level coping strategies like being a workaholic, or exercising too much, or doing extreme sports, or whatever we can do to run away and not feel what we're feeling. But those feelings, I think that they're coming up for a reason, and we can't sort of just suppress them. And this is another spirituality thing I hate, is to be happy all the time. It's like, no, your feelings are there for a reason. Feel them and see them, and
But we do run and we do suppress. Those people who, I'm so stressed, I just can't eat right now, and I have to go for a run. And they're usually quite athletic looking, and it's always been my problem, and so I've always lusted after an athletic life, athletic body, and always wished I had their pathology, rather than my pathology growing up has been to overeat. But now I see they are just as trapped and running away from their problems as I am with the magnums.
Literally.
They are literally doing it. Although arguably their coping mechanism is healthier. They're not getting obese as I got. They're getting healthier. But they're still not right. They're still running.
Yeah.
I don't actually want their problems anymore.
Yeah. A lot of us do it, and we just kind of run in different ways. But things come up for a reason. I mean, people think anger is such a bad emotion, but typically we get angry because we're letting a boundary be crossed, and we need to tell someone to not cross this boundary.
Right. But we're taught
anger's bad, and we just sort of got to not be angry or but it's okay to be like, there's a healthy expression of the anger. You wouldn't just go and let someone have it.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, this is a conversation I might have.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an energy boost to kick up the bum to sort of go, all right, I'm gonna actually do this. And back on the brain stuff, anger's more left brain too. So people who are more right-brained, they'll get walked all over.
I thought right brain was more emotional and creative and feeling. So
so like feeling that, like interoception, which is feeling your body and feeling your emotions. But left brain, there's more of, you feel anger more with the left brain.
Wow.
And so right brain people tend to be like more doormatty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, like nice, want to be nice. And then, so many of my friends, and you're getting taken advantage of or whatever. What's his name? Garba. I'm going to mispronounce his name. It's like Garba Mate or something.
No idea.
He's looked at autoimmune conditions and women, and women having a lot more of these autoimmune conditions.
They totally do.
Yeah, and he kind of correlated the autoimmune conditions with women that just can't say no or like won't have any boundaries. And it's funny because like the immune system is like the boundaries of our body.
It's reacting.
Yeah. It's like that safety barrier, the immune system from help protecting you from the outside. And so women who don't kind of have that, they just let things, they're a bit of a doormat and they can't say no and can't put up boundaries with other people. So it's sort of, this physical, thing showing up with the immune system, but also this emotional personality thing where it's like, I can't say no and I can't have these boundaries. And that's very typical of sort of a right brain dominant person. It's like there's no anger there, there's no like and they're so worried about what other people might think, and it's like, oh, I'll just be nice and I'll just put up with it or whatever.
Who do you think, are there any examples of people either historically or alive now who are so well put together? So we've been talking about issues and we're dealing with our issues and doing transformation work and so on, but are there examples of someone who seems to have either who's just really aligned and coherent and well put together and balanced and at peace and all the rest of it?
Geez, I don't know.
Because some fake it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know this for sure, so this is just opinion, but when I see people like Oprah and Jay Shetty and the wellness influencers who are like teaching you to be put together, I can smell it's too much. There's too much show there. Like the truly rested, coherent. It's like the wellness influencers saying it's not about the body. Don't worry about how you look on Instagram. Why they're showing off their abs and everything. What you're doing is the opposite to
Love
what
yourself the way you are.
While they're on the squat press.
Yeah.
What was my question?
Who's actually genuine?
How do you see truly authentic, genuine people in the world? I'm looking for them lately.
I reckon later on I'll probably think of some examples when I'm leaving. I know some people in my own life that I know personally, definitely.
Well, maybe a bigger question. What makes a person like that? Some people you sit with and you just feel like they are extra real.
I always feel like it's your genuine intention. Is your intention to be genuine? But it's not just your conscious intention, because you might intend to be genuine, but you might not be too. It's how well do you know yourself, and can you be truthful and genuine with yourself? That will come across as well, because it's like your intention might not be to lie or be dishonest or mask things, but you might be doing that anyway because you don't kind of see that within yourself.
Well, you're triggered by something.
Yeah.
That's a big one I find, is that if you can find people who are harder to trigger, I'm finding you particularly, I'm not trying to trigger you, right? But I'm finding you particularly difficult to, I've interviewed a lot of people, and sometimes people can get reactive.
Yeah.
And it can look like now they're very, very happy, or they're very, very sad, or they're very, very warm, or they're very, very cold, but it's a change. And you go, whoa, what did I do? I didn't mean to offend, but then they're reacting.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel very unreactive.
Well, that's good.
I think it's good. I want to be unreactive too.
Yeah. I don't think you're reactive. It's probably just something that you're not honest within yourself about. You know, you're trying to kind of... It's like if you're trying to lie to yourself about something and keep up some sort of facade or whatever, and then someone kind of triggers that and sort of reveals to themselves or to yourself where you're, you know, it's like this unstable structure within yourself that you've built to keep this thing standing up. It sort of puts a little crack in that. And so I was like, don't put a crack in that.
Cover it up.
You know, yeah. I don't want to see that.
We should also say, like, the reason why people seem to do these self-protection mechanisms is not like evil. It's self-preservation. So a lot of my issues that I've worked out has been because in childhood I learned something that the only way to be safe is to present this way to the world or that way to the world. And so I'm like, I understand why I've done that for so many decades. I was just trying to feel accepted and safe.
Oh, 100%. So many people are so mean to themselves. Like your self-talk to yourself is really revealing. Like, oh God, I shouldn't have done that. I'm such an idiot. Like, and we can be really harsh and down on ourselves. But having that larger understanding, like, of course, like you were this kind of scared child at this time, or, you know, you were just trying to protect yourself, or, you know, like, yes, you did lie, but it was for this reason, and yes, there was a better way of doing it, but you did it this way, and, you know, that's okay. You're a person and you're learning. Like,
what's your self-talk like?
Better now than it was. I mean, it's not perfect, but I always, you know, there's the unconscious self-talk as I'm going about the day, but then in journaling every day, I can sort of bring it to the forefront.
Because the stereotype is that women are more critical in their self-talk than men.
Yeah, that's also more of a right brain thing too.
To be self-critical.
Yeah. So it's like worried about what other people think, but then also thinking bad of yourself and that sort of thing. So I'd say that's a little bit more of a right brain thing, which again is a little bit more in women than in men.
And it doesn't help that I'm deliberately asking you about those things and on camera, so forcing to see if there's a reaction.
Yeah.
I like it. I like being tested. I love it when guests come on and they test me. I want to see myself react.
Yeah.
I just feel like
what's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear?
Yeah.
It changes over time, but currently my biggest fear is that my current stillness and peace that I have on the inside and a lack of self-talk. I've gone from very negative self-talk to not good self-talk, no self-talk, or almost no self-talk. I'm worried that my peace and everything is temporary. And at the moment, a lot of my life is aligned and coherent and authentic and genuine. But because it's only been a number of months, I'm worried that one day I will go back to loving buffets and binge eating and hiding in food and doing symbolic simulations and borrowing people's glow and not feeling whole within myself. That's my biggest fear. Yeah.
That you haven't healed the hole that was filling, that you could go back to that.
Well, that my current state of freedom is temporary. Like people do ayahuasca trips and stuff. I've never tried these things, but they get a very similar thing. They have an ego death. They break down into parts. They see things, they reintegrate, and they come out with suddenly they don't smoke anymore or whatever the thing is.
Yeah, I've heard that. I haven't done it, but I've known people that have done it, and yeah, they've had, like, I've heard some very profound experiences.
But my fear before this sort of 6-month period was that I would be found out. Which is odd because you've seen this and not for very long, but other people who watched me for 5 years now, they're like, oh, it's so real and genuine. I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, I've always had a fear of being found out.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to find out.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean find out?
I know.
Everything's on there, isn't it?
It is. And sometimes like my shirt ends up popped
Yeah.
over and you see my belly on the camera and I'm like, just leave it in. So I've always been pretty genuine, but
Yeah.
underneath all of that, a fear of being found out.
Is that like what is it? What's it called? The like that inferiority, like imposter syndrome type
syndrome?
thing. Like
I'm not sure.
yeah.
I've always thought I'm good at having this show, but I've just had this fear from childhood of being found out, having to hide. Yeah. What's your deepest fear?
Oh God, I should never have asked.
You don't have to answer this if you don't want. It's
I'll
pretty full on.
I don't know. Like I feel like I've got a lot of really good things in my life, and I found like a beautiful sense of purpose and direction in terms of like my career. I've got a lovely son, lovely relationship, and all of these things. Like I worry I'll do something to stuff it up and for all that to crumble. So like a self-destructive thing.
Did you have a pattern of self-destructive before? I did, clearly. I've
Probably,
been talking about.
yeah.
You haven't talked about it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I would say so. Like you would kind of build something and then you would, it's like, I call it the 11th hour. Am I allowed to swear?
You already have.
Oh, yeah.
You said shit earlier.
The 11th hour fuck up. So
What does that mean?
this is what I've dubbed it. It's like when you're on the precipice of change, you've been working towards something for so long, and then at the 11th hour, you do something to stuff it up.
You've done this?
Oh yeah, so many times. I dubbed it that because I looked back at my life and I was like, oh geez, yeah, that's a pattern. So now I know it's like if I'm working towards something, if I'm at like the pinnacle of doubt and like cynicism and like this is never going to work, or you know, what am I doing this for, and that's when I want to give it up or do something to like ruin it. I'll be like, no, you're right there, you're at the edge.
Push.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
But I would always sort of have that. I'll give an example. This year I made sort of a pact to myself to do a video each day this year for social media. I'm trying to get on, and I'm like, no, I've got to do it. Like, it doesn't matter what, I'm going to do it. Whereas in the past, before I'd sort of recognized that pattern, I would have given up.
Have you given up?
No, I haven't given up.
So you've been doing video?
I haven't given up this year. But like,
there's a lot of videos
if
I've seen.
Yeah, every day. If I'd sort of, in the past, like before I kind of realized this, so probably, a little while, years ago, I would have got to the point I might have got 6 months in and given up because it wasn't getting anywhere or something. So there's definitely this habit of doing something self-destructive or giving up too early because I'm cynical it won't work.
And you're thereby completing the predictive loop and
Exactly.
making sure it doesn't
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, okay. Which can often feel more at home and safe than... I'm terrified by what I'm becoming. Like,
what are you becoming?
Sorry, that's not the right way of putting it. Because I don't feel like I'm becoming someone. I feel like I'm remembering more who I am originally. I'm terrified of who I am and the world rejecting it because it's already happening. The way I talk, walk, say hello to the person in Bunnings, what I wear, everything is, it's causing social friction. I mean, the other day, someone says to me something like, did you like what I cooked? And I hated it. So I just can't fake anymore. I can't lie to save them and say, yeah, it was great. But I don't want to hurt them and say, no, I really didn't like it. So I had nothing to say. So I was just stuck. So I was just like... Not like with a bad face. I was just like, silence. Like, I got nothing to say. I'm just going to look at you. And then, of course, they're feeling like you haven't covered and said, yeah, it was fine. You haven't said, oh, look, I prefer a bit less spice or whatever. You've just looked at me and I'm finding this social frictions happen to me all the time lately.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
I feel like it depends on the person, but there are some people, like my relationship with my brother is really good because it's like you could say whatever you wanted, but because it's said with such love, like, you know, I love my brother and I can say, you know, God, you're an idiot, or like, that was a dumb thing to do, or like, you can say literally whatever, but because it's from such love, it will be received with that, and they'll be like, shut up, or, you know, like, it would be an exchange, it would be a few, and then you would just move on. But, you know, I don't have that relationship with everybody too, so sometimes you do kind of just have to go, oh, it was lovely, I just would never have it again.
Exactly.
Whatever, yeah.
I mean, with strangers, you don't have the same intimacy. I had a guy in here I was interviewing recently, and he talked about, I've got a good face for radio. He said about himself. He's a larger guy, got a good face for radio, which is a joke to say that you're not pretty, but you've got a nice voice anyway, so that's okay. Then he said to me something like, you've probably heard that a lot too. And I was, right? And I've come from that place of being larger and self-deprecating humor and so on. But I'm much more at peace now with myself. So I couldn't let it stand. I said, no, I don't. I think I'm reasonably attractive. And oh my God, what did I just say? No one says I think I'm reasonably attractive. Yeah. And whether it's true or not, we can all debate. Maybe I'm not, but it doesn't matter. I believe it and said it, but it caused a social friction. It was like, he made a joke, I was supposed to agree with the joke and it all would have been well, but my damn brain said what was real and true at the time. And I'm trying to get the words back.
Like, sorry.
I also told him he'd never be back on the podcast.
Oh, did you?
While he was on the podcast.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't mean it like I don't like you. It was like, he said, I'll tell you next time. I said, no, you'll never be back on the podcast. Tell me now. He's like, I won't be back. I said,
it was because of that joke, wasn't it?
But when you're unfiltered, you start to say stuff that can cause friction.
Yeah. But I think that's fine too, because you create friction with the people that you weren't aligned with anyway. The people you're aligned with, like, I'm not going to say they're going to love you no matter what, but it's like you have this sort of mutual alignment and respect. But the people that you cause friction with, you're not on the same wavelength as them anyway. So
because there's friction.
Does it matter?
Does it matter?
I think if you're genuine, then whatever happens is kind of meant to happen. And if that means the fracturing of a friendship or relationship that you were trying to hold together with a little bit of twine anyway, good. Like, you're trying to not be yourself to hold that together.
We know this logically, Jackie, but that's hard.
Oh, yeah.
To lose things that were being held together with niceties. And the biggest one, right, is when people go, oh, hey, Jack, I haven't seen you for years, since high school. How are you? Oh, it's good to see you. It's been 10 years. We should catch up. Yeah, we should catch up. We should. Cool. See ya. Yeah. And you've never seen them for 10 years. You don't have their number. You're never going to catch up.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. So when someone says, oh, we should catch up, I go, I guess so. All right. When? Tuesday? And they're like, oh, no, I'll let you know. No, you freaking won't.
I didn't mean it.
No, we'll catch up.
Yeah. It's just something you say to be nice now, isn't it?
Yeah, but now I'm the asshole for saying when.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to catch up? Here's another one, right? I've met people that had a good week with them. I've shown them Australia, whatever. So I've known someone for a week, shown them around. At the end, they're like, oh, you should come and visit Colombia one time, where they're from.
Yeah.
Come and visit Sweden and I'll show you around. But I'm like, I'm never going to go to Sweden. So I'll say, oh, look, I probably won't. It sounds nice, but have a good life. And they're like, have a good life? You're supposed to say, see you next time one day. I'm like, I'll probably never see you again. I hope you have a great life.
Yeah.
Like, have a good life. It's a good planet. Go have fun. See you later.
I think that's fine to say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They don't like it.
Yeah. I love just being blunt, but being blunt from a place of love. Like, I have a tendency to dance around things. So I've started to kind of embrace a little bit more and try to be a little bit more just blunt and say what you mean.
How? How have you?
I don't know. Like, that hat looks dumb.
On someone wearing it?
Potentially, like,
wow.
my partner and I, we talk like this all the time. Like, I
like it.
But it's a non-frictional thing, because it's like, we'll just be honest with each other and what we think.
Is that new for you and your partner, or have you always been
No,
like that?
I don't know. I don't think it's new. I just think it's how we are and our dynamic, which is nice. And it's the same dynamic with my brother. It's just like, you just say what you think. Or like, he'll do something like, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Like,
But there's potential for offence still, right?
Well, there is, but in the moment, I don't feel that. Like, I think you kind of know if there is, depending on who you're talking with. But And there might be, but it's like you've got such a good relationship anyway that it doesn't really ripple the water that much.
Right. Can you do that with people that you don't have? So we've only known each other for an hour and 33 minutes. Even my emails to you, I remember I was so busy when I was responding to you. I remember catching myself going, crap, that was a short email. Hope she's all right. And then you'd send one back and I'd be like, yep, 10 a.m. send. And then I was like, crap, I did it again. But you seemed fine. You weren't offended.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is great. She can handle it.
Do you know, I didn't think much of it. The thoughts I thought about it were like, oh, that was a short email. And I think that was the end of that thought. Like, I don't think I really thought into it that much. I just kind of thought, oh, that's the way you are. And that's it. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming anyway.
Oh,
because I found myself being a little bit short, and I didn't mean it in a mean way. I was just busy.
Yeah, but I get like that too. It's like, you know, sometimes you just want to get to the point and, you know, you don't want to send all this fluff just to, you know, placate
if it's
someone.
Real, I'm okay to send fluff, but if it's not real...
Yeah.
What else do you want to talk about before we end? I
don't know. It's kind of me, isn't it?
What did you come down for? You wanted to talk about anything particular?
I think it was more just, talk about what I'm doing in terms of brain balancing and functional medicine and the life coaching sort of...
So you offer
inner
life
work
coaching?
Stuff. Sorry?
You offer life coaching?
Not yet. I've done some courses and that's sort of what I'm bringing in. So I'm bringing in kind of a 12-week course later this year in September where it'll be a combination of the first one will be like just really foundational. So foundational brain balancing and functional medicine. So pretty much, like I was saying before, don't worry about your macros, just eat real food. Kind of like the basics of what is good to do and, you know, how to kind of self-test the hemispheric dominance and then what kind of exercises you can do to balance that up at home. Yeah,
what can I do to balance up? We've established I'm left side dominant, brain dominant and right side motor dominant.
Yeah. So
I've got the glasses.
Yeah, you can
right
do the
side,
glasses. I'll tell you my kind of sequence, what I do. I do this with my son and we have a bit of a good time. I'll go through and do primitive reflex integration exercises first.
Yeah.
So that would be, like you can Google them. There's a ton of them on the internet.
What are they Googling? Say it again.
Primitive reflex integration exercises.
Reflex,
It's good to test your primitive reflexes first to know which ones you have and then to know which ones you need to integrate.
Yeah.
But basically to integrate them, you're just stimulating them over and over and over.
Until
you don't have them anymore. Until you don't have the reaction anymore. But you'll tend to get much better outcomes from the primitive reflex stuff if you pair it with the hemispheric integration.
Right.
So we'll go through and we'll do some primitive reflex exercises and then we'll do the brain balancing ones. So that'll be, I'll do left nostril breathing.
Yeah.
I made this efficient because we do it 3 days a week and to fit it into your day, I kind of just wanted to make it as quick as possible. So there's more you can do, but this is just my kind of quick run through.
Do you teach this on your social media stuff? Do you talk about this
I
stuff?
do, yeah.
So just everyone pause the podcast, this one, and go and quick follow, right?
Yeah.
What are your handles?
It's Reflecting Health. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Reflecting Health. Go look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Go on.
Left nostril breathing, and I'll stand on one leg. So for me, I stand on my right leg. I just pair that together because I can do them at the same time.
So what? Your right
opposite,
leg?
Yep. For me, so you would stand on your left leg and do right nostril breathing.
Right.
So you'll go.
What am I doing?
And I'll do a breath work sequence. So I'll go 6 seconds in. And hold. And out. And I'll just go through that 6 times while I'm balancing. Well, I'm getting the nose input into this side of the brain. And I'm getting the motor input into that side of the brain too. Then I will go, there's actually playlists on Spotify you can look up. Can't remember exactly what they're called, but they're kind of called Left Brain Music, Brain Balance Malello Method or something. Yeah. So if you type that into Spotify, it'll come up. There's a playlist for left brain music and there's a playlist for right brain music. Different types of music will stimulate the different sides of the brain. You can listen to this just in your car, or having it playing in a room, and it'll sort of more stimulate the one side of the brain that it's meant to. what I do is I put one headphone on one side. So for me, I go right side ear to stimulate left brain, and I just play that playlist through. Not the whole playlist, I'll just put it on for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I can do that. I do that with the glasses. So I've got glasses, music.
Must look amazing.
I look really funny.
Yeah.
And then I've got a TENS machine. So a TENS machine is a little bit
Stimulation.
of... Yeah, like electrical stimulation. And I just pop the pads on the right side of my body, pretty much anywhere. I'll just chuck a few on my leg and my arm. I'll bang that on, and I'll just work on the computer or watch something for 15 minutes with the glasses, the music, and the TENS on.
You're growing that side of your brain.
Yeah.
What do I get for doing this?
Well, it's really cool. So the first thing I felt was angry.
What? While you're doing it?
Not while I was doing it, but just in my day-to-day, I was like, man, I am pissed off.
Oh, wow.
And it was like my left brain's coming online, but
right.
I realized things that I hadn't noticed, that I was letting people kind of not get away with, but like treat me poorly in a way, and I hadn't noticed. It was a really unconscious thing.
Yeah.
And I got really mad at it, and I was like, nah, I got to like say something or do something here. And it was good because it let me put up those boundaries for things I did not even notice. I was sort of being like manipulated or walked on or whatever in a way. And like they don't notice it too. These are all kind of unconscious patterns that we all sort of play out. But when I became aware of it and actually got angry about it, I could do something about it and sort of stop it, and it was better. That was probably the biggest thing I noticed. And then my body too, the tone in my muscles, so my left side would kind of come in, it sort of opened up a bit.
Yeah.
And sort of felt that open up. And I felt more awareness of my left side because I didn't realize, but I was a bit ignorant of it. Like had less awareness over here. And then I was like, it was just like there was more there that I was noticing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the tattoo?
Oh, this one, when I was younger, I got a lot of tattoos. This one's my son's name and a dragon. Some of it, no, they're not bad, but
it's just such
this is all like 18, 19. Like,
I know, but it's a very strong symbol that you wear forever.
Yeah.
That's why I've never had one. I'm scared that I'll not want it 10 years from now.
Yeah. No, I did get a few.
Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed chatting. I didn't even have any questions. What do you think of silence?
What do I think of silence?
You know when you're talking with someone and then it's just
silent. You want to fill it like I'm doing now.
Why?
I don't know. It's just
some people can sit with silence more than others. And should we even be able to? I don't know. I'm just fascinated by it.
When I was younger, I couldn't kind of be by myself, I think. Like I would always have to be distracted or out with people or doing something.
Right.
And I couldn't sit with myself or be by myself. Now I love it. But I could never do that in the past. And I don't know, I think I've done a lot of personal development and healing since then. It's probably a maturity thing as well. What
would happen when you were by yourself in those days when you couldn't be with yourself? Was it negative talk, or was it like what was so scary about it?
I think it was just crappy thoughts and just not feeling like not at ease or anything. Like I wasn't, and maybe it was my life not sort of being in alignment, but I didn't want to hear that, so I just wanted to do things to distract myself and run away. So so then I probably had more of a fear of silence then.
Oh, right. I feel like there's so much cognitive load when you're doing these hiding, covering, coping mechanisms. And when you remove those things, I've personally found my, I don't know if cognitive is the right word, but my mental capacity, I don't know, my resting tank is available to see, to think, to breathe, to feel, to talk, to whatever. It's not busy preening. Do I look good in the suit? Can they tell that I'm this? All of that.
No, it's exhausting.
Bandwidth is exhausting.
Yeah. I used to be really tired. I find now, and I love it, at the end of the day, I can still have an appointment with someone and still be very present and feel fine in terms of energy.
That, because you're a practitioner, I know I've grown up in medical families. They would generally give themselves in appointment 1. By the time you get to appointment 15...
Yeah, you're dead. Like, you're totally drained.
But maybe it's not because they always said they were giving of themselves. I wonder if they were performing, putting on their own social facade. That's exhausting.
Yeah.
But
and if you've got less in the tank to begin with, you know, there's not as much there.
But if you're being yourself and being genuine through all 12 patients today, you might be tired, but it's not the same kind of exhaustion. Like, I just want to take the mask off.
Yeah, there's not that, like, brain fog. I see a lot of brain fog and you feel really disconnected. Like, it really does feel foggy. And it's not fun. And just really fatigued. And I could only, take on a certain amount of things for the day, because I knew if I did more than that, I would just be in bed the next day really tired. And I don't know if it was like a combination of things, like doing things where I'm just not in alignment with me and I'm sort of just fighting or trying to force things and make them happen, or, not being myself, not being genuine, but also then physical factors too, not being as physically healthy. So, but I think they all tie in together as well.
Can I ask you about child development before we finish? I didn't realize you had a kid. So my kids are 9 and 5, I think. And there's a number of people watching now with younger families with kids sort of that age group, 5 to 10. And I'm thinking of a friend of mine who's got a 13-year-old and some problems there. I'm fascinated by children being somewhat of a blank slate, going through life, and then, we have our own childhood traumas and issues and stuff that we've had to revisit and look at. But then I look at our kids and what traumas they're going through, and I wonder to myself, can they grow up in an aligned way, or is it necessary for them to at some point fracture and then reintegrate? And if so, how can I best help them navigate through that? And now we can talk about this issue through the lens of inner work, or even physical and physio, and the way that their body develops with biases and so on. Just in any way you can, how do you see children going from like a clean slate through to where we are? What kind of path do they need to take, and how can we support them through that?
I don't know. I'll just answer it as best I can. I don't know if they're really a clean slate, because they kind of pick up all of our stuff as kids. They sort of take on all of our beliefs and, the way we do things, and they either kind of do things because they'll copy us, or they'll do the opposite. Like, you might have heard the saying, the parent who's an alcoholic, has 2 sons, and one grows up to be an alcoholic and one never touches alcohol. And the reason why is both, because I watched my dad. Yes. So it's like, we can kind of, it's sort of the flip of the coin, but they're sort of doing it because of the way they were brought up and what their parents did. So I don't know if they're really a clean slate, because they kind of pick up all of our stuff. It's like they pick up where we left off almost. They get all of our physical toxins from, the body, but then also all of our emotional burdens and things too, and beliefs. But,
But they do seem to go through a cleaner stage, and like I've seen my daughter change at 9 or 10. When they start to become more socially aware and in social expectations and friend groups and so on, less free. So I'm watching the masks. We talk about where we have masks. I'm watching the masks form from the beginning, and I'm like, oh, do I smash the mask? Do I let it form and make sure she's aware it's a mask? Like, how do I navigate that?
Well, have you heard of neurological pruning?
No.
So when the brain is very young, we're growing and we're developing all of these connections, and we develop so many different pathways. And then I can't remember the exact ages, but it's as we grow older again, there's a pruning of those pathways, and the ones that we're using more and more stay, and the ones that we're not using go away, where we don't have them anymore. So, potentially having, becoming a bit more fixed is that pruning, and sort of, okay, this is how I'm meant to act and be and think, and all of that sort of stuff, and developing that. We don't kind of stay those young sponges forever.
So what's your thoughts there on being aware of and helping them to prune the right things? What do you...
I always feel like children are going to be who you are, not what you tell them to be. Like they're going to copy you. They're not going to... You can tell them to be something, but if you're doing the total opposite, they're going to see your actions and not just hear your words. I'm a big fan of being an example to someone and not telling them, you know, who they're meant to be or what you think is right. Like, be that within yourself, and then your kids will see that, and you're the example to them.
Right. And then, but they are going to develop their own social coping and masks. Mm-hmm. And so they are going to go through everything what we went through and potentially end up at 22 saying, why do I behave this way? I don't like it. I want to change it. Let's look into it.
Yeah.
I just wish I could have get away from my kids to avoid all of that.
Yeah, but I don't know. They're people too. Like they've got to go through their own journey and learn and have hard things and use that to grow and
It just took me so long to stop eating so much ice cream.
Oh, yeah. But now you're the example to them. So you've stopped eating ice cream now, and they see that, and they go, Dad went through this thing, and he used to eat a lot of ice cream, but then he stopped. And it's
they don't understand why. They're like, why don't you go to buffets anymore, Dad?
Yeah, but I feel like because you've kind of developed and grown and learnt, it's like you're also passing down that learning journey that you've had. Yeah. Whereas if you were still eating the ice cream, then they're probably more likely to pick that habit up. Yeah,
true. I don't understand buffets, honestly. I've grown up with them, lusting after them my whole life. I just can't think of anything worse. You go there and I feel a pressure to eat as much as possible to get the value, and I feel sick and
don't we all?
Hate myself. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
What's the point of a buffet? Can't we go to a nice restaurant, spend $60 instead of $100 and have an amazing dinner with dessert and you're done?
Yeah. Yeah, no, just don't go to buffets.
What's the deal with buffet culture?
I don't know. I haven't been to a buffet for a long time, so...
They're not great.
Yeah.
Jackie Bollen, thank you for being here. Is there anything you want to say before we close?
I don't think so.
That's
it. Good. Thanks for having me, Matt.
It's been fun. I'm sorry, everyone, that I appeared on camera, for those who are not listening, with a mud all over my dress shoes and not even on the blue suit. Basically, I never dry clean it.
Look at this.
Yeah, but that's... we're on a red farm.
Same boat.
Yes, we've already said go to Reflecting Health if people want to check that out. Thank you to the Discernible Locals supporters who pay for our server fees and all the rest of it, keeping it running at discerniblelocals.com. We're going to have a barbecue at the farm, I think, in winter. Have a nice fire. So see you soon for that. And yes, keep making videos. I made videos for 8 or so months, 9 months. Nobody cared. And then all of a sudden something caught fire, and then now there's a couple 100,000 followers. Ridiculous. I believe in consistency. Like, you just have to continue to be consistent, believe in yourself, and eventually it won't be straight away. Don't 11th hour fuck up yourself. Keep going, and then, yeah. Pleasure to have you, Jackie. Thank you, Matt. Goodbye. It's been good. Goodbye, everyone. That was a Discernible interview. Cool. Yeah.